All right, what's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? I'm live. I'm live. What's up? It's the ItsMENtalPodcast. Man, I need y'all help. If you hopping on right now, I need you to share this right now. Please share this. Send this to somebody. We got a dope show for y'all. Go ahead and share this right now. Um, I know I'm a few minutes late getting on, but I had some technical difficulties. But now we on. I want to make sure you see me. I don't even see no numbers yet. Let me see if I can see
It's
me.
not even on your page yet.
I was not even on my page yet.
No, it
Okay.
takes like a second or whatever to
Oh, you
show up.
delayed. Your mouth is delayed from your. That's why I hate when you switch back and forth. Let's see. Let's see. I don't see no. Okay, here we go.
Am
Now
I
I'm on.
delayed now?
Now we on. Now we good.
Am
Yep,
I
you
delayed
delayed.
now?
Yep, you delayed.
Okay, I'll log off. As soon as I share it, I'll log off and log back in.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. Come on in. Come on in, man. I need y'all to be on here. I need my people. My people. My people. Come holla at me. Come holla at me, man. What up, y'all? What up? Yep. Say what's up to me when y'all get in here, man. Say what's up. We got a dope show for y'all tonight. Um, should be good, should be real good. Some good topics, some good stuff to talk about. And we want to do this thing, man. We want to do this thing right, but I need y'all support. I need y'all on here. I need y'all talking to me as soon as possible so we can see who's all in here.
Okay,
There
am
you
I
go.
delayed? Am I
There you
delayed?
go. Nope, you good now.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, I shared it. I shared it on
Okay.
my page, I do believe. Just make sure.
What up, y'all? Welcome,
Back.
welcome.
Okay, delayed? No.
Let me see. Say something else.
Am I delayed?
No, you good. You good. You
Okay,
good.
sweet. All right, sweet. Sweet deal. What up, dude?
Uh,
I
so
ain't
I'm
got
trying
my
to get the
Rams hat, man.
man. I got the eagle. You know, I got a rep.
I
The
already
eagle. All right, we
know.
got some
I was
people
want to
coming in. We got
hear,
some people
bruh.
coming in. We got some
Hey,
people coming in, man.
if I had a running quarterback, that might have been.
Man, that's the game. That's the game right there, man. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the It's Mental Podcast. We are live here Tuesday. A lot has happened. The Eagles beat the Rams. That's the first thing we want to talk about real quick. Just a boom. He's a Rams fan. I'm an Eagles fan. Y'all know what it is. And we got a new president in here. A lot of stuff just happened, right? We had MLK Day. Just stuff was just happened all over the course of this past 3 days, 4 day weekend we just
Uh-huh.
had. So yeah, we back with this mental podcast. I need y'all to time in with me, man. Usually we have like 20 people on, and I'm not seeing y'all right now. I'm not seeing y'all. Say what's up to me in the chat. Say hello. Share this to somebody. We're gonna get our numbers up. And even if we don't, we still gonna have this chat tonight because people go back and rewatch and share and all that. So hopefully we can get everybody to share it and get on. We're live on all platforms right now. We're on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube,
Which
and Instagram. Yeah, I don't even know nothing about Twitch, but we on there.
it's a good spot. It's a good one. It's a good one. No
Yep, and I think
TikTok.
we
They
on
brought it
TikTok.
back.
I think we on TikTok too. I think
They
we on
brought it
TikTok
back.
live too.
Your
Yeah.
president brought it back. He took it away and brought
Yeah.
it
He
back the
took it
other
away and
day.
then he brought it back. Yeah, and then
Wait,
took the credit. It took the credit. So
it took the
uh
credit.
it took the credit. That's what he do, man. So yeah, man, we're gonna get into some good stuff here. I don't want to, like they say in church, I don't want to belabor the time. I don't want to be before you
Labor.
long. I don't
We
want to be
won't be.
before you long.
And I'm closing.
Right. It's my first close. All right. So they telling me to hurry up. All right. So first of all, I want to introduce y'all know him. Y'all seen him before. Nugget. Hey, Nugget. All right. Y'all seen him before. He's part of the squad. The squad gonna be back next week, but he's part of the squad, man. This is my friend Denny Momo. He mentored me in my DJ business that I have and that I
Okay.
do. So he taught me the game, educated me and all that, and he put me on. So we're gonna talk to him tonight. This is a real serious topic we got tonight. But the goal listen, the goal that we have here at the It's Mental Podcast, I know we talk a lot about dating, right? And I wanted to help you guys, the watchers, the viewers, understand things or just hear from a man's perspective. And a lot of times that's why I kind of had to dial back the women so much, because we weren't really getting the real man perspective because we were always mindful of the women on the show. And that's life. Women, guys are always mindful or have to be mindful of women. Well, I don't want that. I want you guys to see raw, uncut men being raw, uncut men as much as we're willing to show you, and also to be able to help other men out, to show our openness and vulnerability and things that we go through and struggle and all like that. So this is my friend Denny Moe, and he hit me up actually recently on some very serious stuff, and I was like, man, this is the kind of stuff I want on my podcast. I want to talk about some real life, transparent moments, that we can really speak to, because maybe you're not the only. I know for a fact he's not the only person that's going through what he's going through, because all of us have gone through stuff, or will go through stuff, or have gone through stuff in our lifetime. So, Denny Moe,
What's happening?
what's going on? What's
You
going
can hear
on?
me
So.
good and clear?
I hear you good and clear, good and clear.
Okay,
So,
good, good, good.
um, in 2020,
Yeah.
I'm not a big New Year's resolutions person, right? That's just not
Okay.
me or whatever. However, I am a big advocate of bettering myself, or people bettering themselves and wanting to do better. And then when you talked to me a couple weeks ago and talked about some of the struggles that you are having, when it comes to drinking, right? When it comes to drinking and things like that, and just kind of the pathway. So I want to discuss some of the things that you talk to me about, and some of the struggles that you've had or didn't have, and all those type of things. So out of your mouth, I want to hear, what would you classify your struggle with drinking as being an alcoholic?
Great question. So thanks first, letting us go deep in this topic, and a lot of topics we're gonna do. And I just want to say, as a disclaimer to those who are listening, whether it's drinking or drugs or any kind of vice that you're going through, make it synonymous to you so that you can receive, so you can kind of relate to it, because we all go through. It could be sex addiction, it could be anything you're going through. It could be whether you cheat or whether
It could be
steal.
eating, it could be
It could
food.
be eating over, just I want you
Yeah.
to not just look at it as drinking or whatever my vice is, or whatever Benzie vice may have, but make it parallel so that you can relate. So yeah, I'm an alcoholic. Hi, my name is Dennis. I'm an alcoholic. Um,
And they teach you that in AA means, right? The first part of
Actually, they
recovery
say it
is,
different now. They say, "Hi, my name is Dennis, alcoholic." They don't even say "I am." It's just
oh,
alcoholic. You get the
oh,
"I am" out of there. Just, "Hi,
oh,
my name is
dang.
Dennis, alcoholic."
Oh, I didn't even know
It's
that. Okay.
been a week and a half since I had my last drink.
Okay.
It's been maybe 3 weeks since I had a hard liquor drink, and I got start drinking wine to kind of um, get off the hard liquor, because, and I will get into this, because of how my body was acting. So
Mm.
wine was a little easier. You can still get the buzz, but wine was a little easier. Now, how much we drink, we'll get into that as you ask the questions. But and then I ended up going to like a business convention event, and I just kind of slowly, and then I just didn't want to drink it anymore. So it's been a week and a half since I had my last drink.
Okay, so
Praise God.
before we get into the deep stuff, I'll
Mhm.
ask maybe a fun question
Yeah,
real
yeah.
quick. What's your drink of choice? What's your preferred drink of choice?
Oh, everybody that know me know Crown Vanilla and Crown Peach, baby. Church. What? A cigar with some whiskey, but Crown, but old fashions, but them old fashions can ruin relationships.
Okay, we're gonna talk about relationships too.
Yeah, but
All right.
Crown Royal Peach, Crown
Mm-hmm.
Royal Vanilla, if
Mm-hmm.
I'm not being cheap.
Okay. Now, at the height of your alcoholism, how often did you drink?
Now, which stint? Because an alcoholic can go through stints. You can get off for a while and then get back on, but I can drink a gallon a day,
Ooh.
depending on what time I start. If I wake up, like, let's say I woke up at 3 in the morning, I'm like not sleepy.
Mm-hmm.
I can go get me a glass and sip at 3, 4 in the morning,
Mm.
and then if I'm like, okay, I ain't doing nothing today, this is just gonna be dedicated to being lazy.
Mm.
I can sip the whole day and then have to go to the store and buy another one for the nighttime.
Wow.
A gallon, not a fifth.
A gallon.
I'm
That's
sorry,
that's the
half
ones you
gallon.
get half.
Half
Oh,
gallon.
half gallon, half
The
gallon.
big boy.
Okay.
So you got the fifth, and then you got the big boy.
Yeah, yeah. The ones you get at like Costco and stuff.
Well, you can
Them
get them
big
at any
ones.
store,
Oh,
but yeah,
okay.
you know, there's the fifth, and then there's a
Uh-huh.
half gallon. So the next one up from a fifth is the half gallon.
Half
Then the
gallon. Okay.
gallons are bigger. The Costco ones are like gallons.
Oh,
Half
okay.
gallon I can drink
Okay.
in a day.
Whew. That's a lot.
Well, you
That's a
got to
lot.
rationale too with your eating. You eat, and then you know if you get on the phone and talk all day,
Mm-hmm.
that can wear down the buzz.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And so
you
you
might
just
take a
keeping
nap at 3 o'clock because you fell asleep till
mm.
6,
Mm.
and you start all over.
So why I would say let's start at the end and then we're gonna go back to the beginning. So at
Okay.
the end, why are you making the decision now to try to stop?
Well, it's not my first time making that decision.
Okay.
You know, that's a tough thing. You can make the decision mentally all you want. It's
Hmm.
the action that has to happen. And
Okay.
that's the tough part. When they say it's a disease, it's an addiction. I'll go
Mm.
with disease, that's fine, but I've never woken up and said, dang, I want a cold today. Or
Hmm.
dang, I want this disease. But I've
Mm.
woken up or waking up out of sleep saying, dang, I want a drink. It's an addiction,
Mm.
which to I say is a demon, but we'll talk on layman's term.
Yeah.
It's an
So
addiction that is tough to control. Very
is
difficult.
is the addiction to the taste or the feeling?
Both. It's the
Mm.
addiction to the taste. It's addiction to the feeling. It's addiction to the mental state it puts you in. As they say, liquid courage.
Hmm.
It's the addiction to when you're around certain people
Hmm.
and y'all gonna sip. It's addiction to, um, you know, I'm gonna be real 100. The best sex can be when you're drunk or having sex because a man can last longer when he you're gonna feel it for a while, then you're like, oh, I'm in something, but you get that nice buzz and you feel, what your boys say, X makes the sex spectacular. You know what I'm saying? So
Uh-huh.
drinking, but yeah, so I mean, but makes me want the factors that make me want to stop is one, I've been wanting to stop. I
Mm.
have stopped I've gone a couple years, I've gone a year, I've gone a few years, I've gone 3 months, I've gone 6 months. It's a revolving door at times. And I want to stop now because there are certain factors. One, because I want my mind to be focused and alert on what my goals and my affirmations have said and what my goals and purpose is for 2025. I want to be
Hmm.
focused. Two, I don't want to be sluggish, wake up and be drinking early in the morning and then be sluggish the whole day. And three, when you suffer withdrawals, withdrawals is a after effect of alcoholism before you go into alcohol poisoning.
Mm.
Okay, it's very, very withdrawals are very dangerous, and so when I had my first withdrawals about a year and a half ago, I was on my motorcycle and
Is
my
that when you went
body
to the
began.
hospital? This is when you went to the hospital?
No, I
Oh.
didn't. That was like an early stage because
Mm.
I felt like I couldn't breathe, but it was more anxiety. But
Hmm.
I didn't go to the hospital this time. But
Mm.
and that was like 3 4 years ago, about 2 3 years ago. But I was on my motorcycle and my hand was shaking like this, and I never knew like why was my hand shaking. And I'm literally praying like, Lord, I'm around the corner. And guess where I went? To the liquor store
Mm.
on a lunch break, to the liquor store because I'm gonna sip while I'm talking to people on the phone, right? So
Mm.
I'm shaking like this, and I'm like trying to hold the bike up.
Mm.
And it's a Harley Davidson, so it's very heavy. So I get home and I'm like, yo, I don't know what's going on. Soon as I drink, it brings it suffices
That f-
the
that shake, the
withdrawal.
the withdrawal
The
feeling you have.
withdrawal. The withdrawal
Hmm.
is saying I got too much alcohol, but only thing that can kind of help me is the alcohol. So
Mm.
more alcohol help. It's like if you drop an eggshell in the a piece of eggshell in the egg. What's the
Yeah.
only way to get it out? The eggshell.
Got to get another eggshell and
You can't
scoop it
use
out.
your finger or spoon. You got to get the eggshell. Now you risk breaking more eggshells. But so I'm tired of my body going through that. When you go
Mm.
through a withdrawal, it's a 3 day process of detoxing off of it once you quit. So your first day of withdrawals is the shakes and
Mm.
hallucinations. This
Mm.
is when you stop drinking and you going through the withdrawals. The shakes, hallucination, blood pressure. You start getting depression heavy.
Mm.
You start worrying, and you know, and you're going through that. Then you start looking at your bank account, you start looking at stuff that ain't working, and you
Mm-hmm.
start the failures of life start coming in. That's part of the
Mm,
detox because your body is deep pushing all of this out. Your
mm,
second day in your 48-hour period is when you start feeling a little better, but your body might start going through your hands start moving like this by itself. Your feet start doing this, doing stuff like that. When you ever seen drug addicts who are coming off and they're bringing them off, they start doing this and they're shaking. That's
mm-hmm.
not them fiending. That's their body doing it, and it's a hurting, burning sensation inside of you. And their
Mm.
body is detoxing, but it's the way it detoxes. Drug addicts go through it rougher,
Yeah. Yeah.
than an alcoholic or things like that. So I'm tired of that.
Yeah.
I'm
I
tired of
I bet.
drinking for 4 days and then want to stop for a week, and then but I got to go through a 24-hour, 48-hour period of detox. And that's when you don't want to talk to nobody. Your
Mm-hmm.
body, you just laying there and you just praying. And man, I start getting into worship and praying like, and then you got to you have to speak to your body to not spasm.
Mm.
Yeah,
To not spasm.
to
Wow.
not
Okay.
spasm.
So I want to, like, remember I said I want to go to the end, but I want to go
The
back
end.
to the beginning.
Yeah.
Talk to me about, if you can, if you remember, the first time you drank. Childhood, what, around what
16.
age? 16.
Well,
Okay.
actually, my daddy gave me some. Everybody, daddy did this when you was 2 years old, 3 years old. He poured Coke 45 in the cap.
Yeah. Ah. Yeah.
But I remember like 16, I came home out of being in the streets, whatever, and I found a beer,
Mm,
and so I drank the beer, one beer,
mm.
and I remember waking up hours later. And I was like, they put me to sleep. I'm like
Yeah.
16, maybe almost 17 or something like that. That was like my
Okay.
first time.
Okay, so I know because I know you that you saw alcoholism growing up. Talk to me a
Hmm.
little bit about that. Where did you see it? Who raised you?
My,
Was was
yeah.
alcohol, was that common in your household, or talk to me
Hmm.
about that.
So my father was an alcoholic, and I remember he would have the Smirnoff bottles in different areas of the home because he lived in the basement with my grandparents
Mm, mm-hmm,
because he died when I was 11 at the age of 32.
mm,
And so in his 20s I'm watching him drink literally straight Smirnoff. And if you ever had Smirnoff vodka with no flavor, that's got to be the most. That's just
uh,
rubbing alcohol.
uh,
That's
it's
that's
disgusting.
ammonia. That's like drinking
Yeah.
ammonia. And so he would drink that. He can knock out a little half pint, go
Hmm.
to the stove, half pint. You know what I'm saying? Plus a 40. But he would hide them in different places under the bed and over here and over there. Try to probably hiding them from my grandmama, so
Mm,
she wouldn't
mm,
find them. I remember at times, especially the night when he died, I found him and I took two of his bottles, poured them out, and poured. I poured the down in the laundry room where my
mm,
grandma used to have the sink.
mm,
I poured sink water from the laundry room in the bottles and tightened them up and put them back. So I'm
Wait, wait.
thinking if he
So wait. Let's back up. You found your father dead?
no, I found his bottles
Oh, you found his bottles the night that he died.
the night that he died.
Uh-huh.
Before he died, before he
Hmm.
came home to take me out, I found his bottles. I knew where they were all my life,
Yeah.
but something told me, "Oh, take this. You're tired of him coming home drunk, coming home bleeding from a fight, coming home drunk,
Mm,
um, showing up to games, drunk. I'm late
mm,
because he drunk, and grandparents can't take me, so he'd take me to a game, or he's out in the streets for weeks at a time. So I took the bottles, poured them out, poured water back in them. Of course,
mm,
that didn't do nothing. We was out, and he'd start drinking, and he was like, "This is water." Tossed it and went to the store. So.
mm. So you felt the effects of him being an alcoholic as a child, to where you even knew that, let me pour this out because daddy can't function right the way I
Yeah.
need him to function because of this alcohol. How
And
do
I'm
you think how do you think that made you feel as a kid? How do you think, as
well,
a kid?
you feel kind of like you got two different people. You
Mm,
got the sober daddy and then you got the drunk daddy. You walking down the street with the drunk daddy and he just goes to a tree and starts throwing up.
mm,
So you sitting there like, and as a child, you don't know what it is. You
yeah.
don't know it's alcohol. You don't know what alcohol is. You just see a sick person, a person going through the things that they go through when right? Whether you throwing up or whether you sitting there emotionally crying, or whether but you just see these same bottles. It's not
Mm.
Coca-Cola, it's not Diet 7 Up like grandma used to drink, it's not orange juice,
Right.
unless it's gonna have some vodka in it, and then it's a screwdriver.
Right. 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 Right.
And so you realize there's extra things he's doing that's not the norm when you're at home with grandma and granddaddy
Mm.
and you're living a normal life. But when you a boy's in love with his father. A
Yeah.
child is always in love with their dad.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Their first love is mama.
So that's what I was gonna ask you. Where was Mama throughout all this? Where
So
was
right,
Mama?
so right, a child's first love is the womb they come out of.
Hmm.
Okay, they lay the baby in the mother's, and that's when the baby now attaches
Connects.
itself. Remember, it's still connected to her, even
Hmm.
outside of the womb through the umbilical cord.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
even inside it's connected, but outside is still a good 2 minutes of connection.
Right. Right.
Okay, so my first love, which was the woman that birthed me,
Hmm.
and I get stories from my aunts all the time, and it coincides with what my grandparents on my daddy's side said, who raised me, is
Hmm.
that she did not want children. She did not want me.
Mm.
And so at about a year and a half, she took me to my father's parents, which was my grandparents who raised me, and said,
Hmm.
"Here, take them. I don't want them."
And that was at a year and a half
Years
years
old,
old.
yeah.
So at what age did you start to feel that rejection from Mama? Like, did you start asking what questions? Let me rephrase this. At what age did you start asking questions and realize Mama wasn't around? Because if you're not brought up with a certain parent, it doesn't feel it that
I would
much.
say 7 or 8 when a
Okay.
child kind of the brain is developed enough to understand the surroundings. 3 years, 4 years old, I don't think so. 7 years old, I was in T-ball.
Mm-hmm.
She was never showing up. My dad
Mm.
would take me, even though he was drunk. That was enough for me. I don't
Mm.
care if you're drunk, because I know
Mm.
that after the game, we going to get Baskin Robbins, but then you going to go get drunk with your peoples. But at least you gave me your time right then. But she was never there. Never seen me
Mm.
play a sports game once in my life.
Right.
And so you don't realize it until you look at your parent that you're with and say, "My wish is that you get back with," and that's real in the movies when the kid be like, "Can you get back with mommy? Can you get back with daddy?" That's
Right.
real
That's real.
because that's
Absolutely.
at about 7, 8 years old, 6, 7, 8 years old is when you're like, the other parent's not here, but you yearn for that other parent.
Right. I want y'all back together.
I want y'all
That's
back
what they
together
want.
so I can have
Mhm.
both of you.
Right.
He
Absolutely.
was like,
Absolutely.
"Hell no."
Okay, so let me speed up to look, not speed up, but let me, because I want to ask about grandparents. So 11-year-old pops, he rest his soul, he
Mhm.
died. Mama wasn't around like that. Grandparents, they took over. How was there any alcoholism there? Was there
So
any drinking there?
right, so grandparents, they didn't take over. They had me.
Okay.
My dad was visiting me.
Okay.
If he moved out, he visited me at
Okay.
grandparents.
Okay.
Even though he had the actual custody, lawful
Mhm.
custody.
Right, right.
They had physical custody, which
Uh-huh.
he gave to them to take care of me and raise me. He would come visit me, or he would live there with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it. So what
Now
about
every sibling
mhm,
and every cousin loved my dad. He wasn't the bad guy. He
mhm.
was an alcoholic and an addict.
What was his parents, your grandparents, were they alcoholics or addicts at all?
Yes, my
Okay.
grandfather wasn't out. He was in World War II,
Uh-huh.
suffered from mental illness due to the war. So he
Mm,
was an alcoholic as well.
wow. I'm seeing a
But
lot of
he was
roots here.
clean. I used to go to AA meetings because I was raised with my cousin. We went to AA meetings and sat there at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. He was in AA like from when I know till he passed away.
Now, you may or may not know your great grandfather, your grandfather's father, was he an alcoholic?
On my mother's side. So my mother was alcoholic. Mother's father, as far as we know,
Uh-huh.
'cause he was murdered. And then, but we have great grandparents that they did the family tree.
Hmm.
Alcoholics and pastors at the same time.
Alcoholics and pastors.
At the same time,
Woo.
same person,
So
alcoholic
so
pastor.
so the I don't even want to call it a gene. So the trend, the we, in the church we call it a generational curse, right?
It is.
it
Yeah.
it was passed down from, looks like three, at least three generations
At the
before you,
least.
at the
At the
least
least.
three generations. And then I'm hearing abandonment trauma,
Abandonment,
I'm hearing rejection trauma,
rejection,
and then also you have learned behavior, because
learned
you're
behavior.
seeing it, right? They can say all day, don't drink. Your parents say all day, don't smoke weed, but you smoke weed every day. That kid gonna smoke weed. That kid gonna
Right,
drink. You
right,
see it all the time, every day.
right.
So a lot of those things, a lot of your struggles are struggles that unfortunately you took on based on the trauma from childhood. Would you agree with that?
Correct, absolutely. And that's not an excuse to be like, oh, I'm not accountable or
No, no.
responsible.
But I,
That
I
is a
bring that.
fact that it's the combination of those things you said all
Mhm,
together, and because imagine um, seeing your mom again later in life as an adult and trying to be establish a mother son relationship that
as a
was supposed
grown
to be
man.
established 20 years ago or 18 years ago. It's like this
Yeah.
because I was raised this way.
hmm And you trying to
And
talk to
you
me
don't
like
know
this?
my ADHD. You don't know if I got ADD. You don't know if I got anger issues.
hmm
And then I don't know you like that. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
And, my visitations as a kid were gone once everything kind of split up, and lost and everything. So that happens. Then the rejection still continues. So a lot of people don't understand rejection don't just stop at childhood. It
hmm
continues to especially when we did as a man, it can continue on, right?
hmm
Because you get rejected by a man goes to talk to a woman and she say, nah, I don't like you. Well, you sound familiar.
You sound familiar. It's that reminder of the childhood rejection,
Subconsciously. Not saying, dang,
subconsciously.
man, you like my
Yeah.
mama,
Right.
drop me
No.
off.
No. No.
But the
It's that
trust
feeling.
issue
It's that
is
trigger
it's
feeling
that
of
trigger
rejection.
feeling.
Yeah.
And it's so a man hardens himself as he goes along from 18 years old, even from high school on. Now think about this. You try to holler at a girl at high school, she dish you, then she go tell everybody else she dissed you. Now you got the homies coming laughing. Then they
hmm
like, man, you ain't even hit. You lying on your junk. You know what I'm
hmm
saying?
hmm
And
Yeah.
because you trying to fit in,
Trying to fit
right?
in.
And you're
Yeah.
now there's another layer of rejection from
Absolutely.
the peers,
Right.
so then a
Which
man
just
becomes an
hardens
adult.
that, which just makes that trauma even more worse, that you've that
Yeah,
that you've already had to deal with from your childhood.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
So when do you maybe you can tell me, when is the first time you can say you drank to the point of alcoholism? Maybe you didn't identify it with that at the time,
I
but
remember
okay.
I was living
What?
in Woodland Hills. It was I want to say '08, '09. I would drink half gallons every 2 days, every three
Mm.
days.
But you didn't.
Oh,
Hold on. You didn't start with that. Where did you tell me
I
when
was
you
in the
started?
Navy. I
You
was
was
in
in
the
the,
Navy
okay,
drinking E&J,
okay,
man. We get to a port
okay.
and we 18 and it's legal over there and
Mm-hmm.
not
Mm-hmm.
overseas, man.
Mm-hmm.
And we get over there and everybody was but everybody was drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we get off of the ship, man, put our dope clothes on. We young and stuff, girls everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody come in with a bottle.
Mm.
So we got cups and stuff.
Okay.
I remember a cat in high school drank a whole fifth of Absolute, and he was in high school. We was in high school.
Now,
We was on a high school trip. I was like, dang.
talk to me about your mental state of everything. So you had childhood, all this stuff that happened in
Oh,
childhood, right? We could
yeah.
go deep into it, but we not, right? All
Yeah,
this
yeah.
stuff happened in childhood. Now you're 18, 19, 20, right? In the military, in your 20s, right? Early 20s?
Yeah, yeah.
Early 20s in the military. And now to cope
No,
with
teens,
all
sorry. 18 to like 21.
18 to 20, okay, 18 to 21, first hitting your first adult years, and they're flooding you with alcohol. But you've never got to deal with the trauma
No.
of childhood.
And then
And
to
so,
find out, then for your father's side family to come to you and say at the age of about 18 and 19 that your father was actually adopted as a baby. So I found out my father was adopted when I was 19.
wow.
So he was given away,
Wow. So he always dealt with that rejection.
but it killed him
Oh, oh
because
my
he never
gosh.
dealt with it.
He never dealt with it.
His way of dealing with it was with his boys drinking and playing
Mhm.
softball. He loved softball. He had a son.
Mm,
So when he died,
Mm-hmm.
Here's the compound part. I took it as you chose that over me. Because if you
Oof.
had thought about me as your only son, you would have quit.
Oof.
But he wasn't thinking I'm gonna die. He was thinking I'm drinking. I wake up in the morning with a
Right.
hangover.
Right. I'm just drinking.
Cook
I'm
the
just having
steak
a
and
good
eggs and I'm
time.
good.
Right.
He wasn't
Right.
thinking like I think I'm gonna die soon.
Wow.
At least I don't think he was.
Right. Right. Oh, that's heavy.
So it's
Because then
compound.
that's another feeling of rejection.
Yeah, 100%. You
You chose
think
this over me.
Yeah. There's times I've cried in my 30s, even my early 40s, like he chose that over me. And that's your mental state, whether you come out of it and say, you know what, but I still got to take responsibility. Again, I have to take accountability and responsibility for me. I'm a grown man,
Right.
48 years old, well, close to
Absolutely.
48. But that back then, we're asking about in the 20s, that's the thought process. Like, dang, dog, if I'd have turned 18 when you was here, bro, we'd have been like best friends, my guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
The crazy part is that it seems like it's all rooted in mental health issues, right? Where that stuff needed to be dealt with, right? The trauma,
yeah.
the rejection, the what you saw growing up, all those feelings that you had,
Hmm.
especially in the Black community, we're not necessarily taught how to deal with it. We're not taking the kids to therapy that has dealt with trauma. You know what I mean? We're not dealing with any of those type of things. And yeah, you're right. We are grown, and you have to be responsible. Uh-oh. What just happened? Hold on, y'all. Hold on, let me see. Is that me or you? Is that better? No, it's me. Is that me, y'all? Hold on, let's see. Denny Mo? Think that might be you. Come on back. We got more to. Hello? Hello? Yeah, that's you. You might have to go off and come back. Go off and come back. Yeah, you got to go off and come back. That's your mic. You got to go off and come back. All right. Sorry about that, y'all. He gonna go and come back, but man, that's some deep stuff. Let's see if we can get him back.
No sense.
Hold on, you still staticky. Let me see. Sorry, y'all. We having some technical difficulties, and let's see. Let me get him back. All right. Can you hear me? Oh, we lost him again. Don't go nowhere, y'all. We're not done. We want to get to some the root of some of all this stuff, man. It's pretty good stuff, man. I really appreciate him for going in on this, man, because a lot of us we struggle with a lot of things in our lives, and we struggle with maybe it's not like you said. It's not maybe it's not alcohol. Maybe you have addictions to other things, other vices that you struggle with. And personally, I wasn't always a fan of people using the term mental health issues for excuses, or I wouldn't even say excuses for the reasons why they're going through what they're going through. But in my adult years and my maturity, I've learned that if you don't deal with these issues, it can result in a lot of consequences that or choices that we make in our life that if we don't handle them, we won't recover from them. So Denny
I'm
Mo, you
here.
back? All right, good. Now we
Yeah.
good.
Sorry about that. I
Okay.
don't know what the heck.
Yeah, that was weird. That was weird. So I see everyone's still here with us. Let me see.
That was Satan don't want people to get delivered.
Yeah. Unc is on. Pastor Stanley J.
There you go. That's my pastor, my mentor, my man. He was my he was my what do you call it? Something in the bush, not a thorn in the bush.
Ram in the
He
bush.
was my ram in the bush. He
Thorn in the bush.
Uncle Pastor Dad, we talked about my withdrawals last year, and he was it's funny that God puts people that's been through the fire with you, because he was with me every moment of those 4 days of
Mm,
withdrawals that we talked about earlier. He's the one
mhm.
that told me he literally told me what's going to happen as it went through it. And he monitored me along with one of my doctor friends, who's like, I call him my doctor because my private
Mm.
doctor. I call him when something's happening. Both of them, man, I praise God for them, man, and just thank him because that was a dangerous moment.
Mhm.
Because you can have a stroke going through withdrawals if you're
Mm.
not monitored correctly, and that's why I said it was very dangerous. But go ahead with the question you was asking.
I don't remember where I
We
was
talking about
at.
the trauma. We talking about
Oh
the
yeah,
past
yeah.
trauma, the
So,
rejection of mama and daddy. Um,
so have you struggled with
you talk about mental
depression?
illness.
Yeah, have you struggled with depression at all
Yes, and still
because of all
do.
that? Okay,
You
talk to
can
me a
say
little bit
because of
about
all
that.
that. I don't pinpoint it.
Mm.
Still do. A lot of men, and including myself, go through the thing of go through what they call the um, I'm not where I want to be yet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm at a certain age, and I'm not where I want to be financially.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not where I want to be spiritually. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not where I want to be emotionally. And it be because of it's the byproduct of because of your past. It's hard to open up vulnerability, your trust issues with women.
Mm.
Obviously, it's hard to trust women, and they don't make it no easier just in this day and age anyway. But yeah, the depression sneaks up on you. It doesn't knock on your door and say, "Hey, I'm about to come on in and settle for a minute."
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't prepare you. It just comes upon you. And you go through that with your withdrawals, but you also go through that. And so what happens is the easiest way to knock that depression temporarily is to open a bottle and pour you a drink
Mm.
and get sip so that you can get a little buzz and feel in you're numbing yourself.
Mm.
So you numb yourself and you don't feel the depression.
Yeah.
Well, because that depression is a demon, it's saying, "Oh, hey, buddy, let's have some fun." To the
Yeah.
spirits, the
Yeah.
drink coming in. So
The
now they got
spirits.
their own little party going on in you, and you feeling like, "Ooh, I feel good." Why do people
Mm.
say after a long day at work, they say, "Ooh, I need a drink"?
Yeah.
Child, these kids get on my nerve. Let me give me a glass of wine.
Mm-hmm.
Women who go through breakups or find out they man cheating and they go through breakups, they can drink a half a gallon of wine in one sitting
Mm.
because it numbs the pain.
Yeah.
It numbs it temporarily. You
Temporarily.
know,
It's a
temporarily.
it's a
It's a
temporary
numbing
fix. Absolutely, it's a temporary
temporary
fix.
fix.
So
Exactly.
talk. You mentioned women. I mean, you had to struggle with not struggle. You had the issue with your mother growing up, and then depression, everything else, and then you had
hmm
alcohol where you weren't dealing with your depression. How did that affect your relationships with women?
Oh, it can
That's
affect any type of relationship, whether it's with females, whether it's with friends,
mm,
whether it's with the parent. Once you
mhm.
kind of reconcile, but you guys both are still drinking, and
Well, tell me,
you get
tell me you though. How has it affected your with women? Like, did you actually date it? Tell me a little bit about how your alcoholism or even the
yeah,
trauma that caused alcoholism has affected it or has affected in the
because
past.
there's a lot of times drinking can make people angry
Mm,
and or make you say stupid stuff. You can say things that don't, you got the liquid courage, so your mouth just talking. And there's times
mm,
I've talked myself out of relationships. There's times I've gotten angry and maybe she's drinking too, or maybe not. But I'm just saying I'm just angry and we just going at it. We fighting this or
mhm,
that and this. You know what I'm saying? And you just like f this, man. I'm out. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? Or it can ruin relationships with friends. It can
mm,
re- it can it, you know you it can ruin business relationships, because what you're not realizing is you're getting the temporary fix, but you don't see your actions outside of you.
mm.
So you think you sound
You sound
normal,
good, right? You think you sound normal, but really
but
you sound like a
really
fool.
outside ears are like, what is this dude talking about? You ever heard
Yeah.
somebody slur they now I've been in a place where I've slurred my speech and don't
Mm,
know it.
mm,
Go back and rewind and listen and be like, what the hell
yeah.
was I talking? You know what I'm saying? And then you really kind of make a fool of yourself at times.
Mm.
And you can be the one in the room making a fool of yourself drunk
And don't even know it.
and don't even know it. And
Mm,
watch this. Here's another bad part. Blackouts.
mm.
That's real. You can literally not falling asleep and waking
Yeah.
up and
But you
forgetting.
doing stuff and you don't remember nothing. It's just a
You literally black out, but you see your hands,
yeah.
but your brain is not comprehending what you're doing.
Mm,
And you can literally paint a wall and be blacked out. You can literally set up your DJ equipment and be blacked out.
Mm,
And then be like, once you come down, you're like, what the hell happened? You repeat
yeah,
yourself.
yeah,
People are like, you told me this 3 times yesterday. I
yeah,
did? I don't remember that. What did we do yesterday?
yeah.
Did I talk to you yesterday?
Wow.
Yeah. Now you're eating away at your brain cells. You're eating away at your body.
Mm. It's interesting that you say that because you've done that to me before. You've done that, and I'd be like,
To
Dennis, you just
everybody.
you told me that already twice. Remember? You told me. But
Oh
here's the
yeah.
thing though, talking to you on the phone or texting you back and forth, I can't tell that you're drunk. I
Well,
can't
yeah.
tell that you've been drinking.
So I'm
I
pretty
don't know
good.
that.
I'm pretty good. I could be drunk right now. You wouldn't know it. I'm not.
Mm,
I'm sober. It's
mm-hmm,
been a week and a half since I've had my last drink. Like I
mm-hmm,
said before, that's a repeat purposely.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, because it's called. You know how to hold your liquor.
I guess you've been drinking half pints for so long,
Yeah.
you learn how to adapt and deal with that and
Yeah.
almost appear normal.
Well, it's like this. You lift weights, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 10 years ago, at some point when you was starting, you wasn't lifting what you lift now.
Of course
You
not.
built that muscle.
Mm-hmm.
So that muscle built up to where you can bench press 300 pounds. I think you where you at 300.
I hit 305 for 8 last week, so I just
Okay,
want
all right, that's my dog,
to.
right?
Yeah.
But if I was to see you, if I was to see you 10 years ago with the same physique, I wouldn't know if you was benching 305 or not
Mm-hmm.
because you wear it. So
Yeah.
you can wear alcoholism well, and
Mm.
nobody would know. And then you sometimes you talking to yourself like, "Hey, just walk straight. Don't trip. Just bruh." And talking to myself,
Yeah.
you just, hey man, be cool. Get to the car or get
Mm-hmm.
to a chair and sit down and just act like you on the phone texting.
Mm. Now, so because of that, right? Let's help some of us out here. How if we have a family member that may be struggling or a friend, what are some signs to look for to identify if this person is struggling with alcoholism? Like what can because if they've learned how to mask it, right? And they've learned how to build that muscle, we may not be able, the sober person may not be able to tell so much, right? But
Hmm.
what are some of the signs that you think we can look for to where we can help a friend out that's trying to hide it? What can we do?
They'll tell you. They'll say, "Where the drink?" Every
Mm,
time you see them. Hey man, where the drink? Hey, what y'all doing tonight? Shoot, let's get some drink. Hey, y'all want to
mm.
go get some drink?
So that'd be a constant thing on their mind. They always
They
want to
don't know
drink
they doing it.
because they
It's
all.
just always a drink.
But what I liked what you said, not I like what you said, but you gave a very good point earlier. Was like that drink numbs that trauma. That drink numbs
It's
that
numbing.
pain. It's
Yeah,
numbing all of those issues, all of those demonic attacks that have attacked that person's mind and their soul and their spirit, and now their mental health is just completely out of whack. But
yeah.
the only way they know to deal with it is to
It's the
numb it
drink.
with alcohol
There are
or
functioning,
drugs or
yeah, or whatever they call it.
whatever. Yeah.
Functioning alcoholics is
Mhm.
when you live off the drink. Um, you have more drunk hours and
Than
days than you
sober
have
hours.
sobers.
Mm,
Sober is like it's the opposite. Sober takes you off kilter.
yeah.
Drunk puts you straight, normal.
Mm,
Like a lot of people who are high went to college and got great grades. They were
yeah.
high.
Or Cliff said,
Cliff
or
said, or
porn.
porn addiction. Yeah,
Yeah.
we talked about earlier. Cliff, porn addiction, sex addiction,
Mm,
cheating addiction, drugs, alcohol, wherever it is your issue. Parallel it, make it parallel, so that
hmm
we get healing. Um, Loneliness.
hmm
Bible says it's not good for a man to be alone. Why would he say that out of his mouth?
Yeah.
And yet, so many men are alone.
Mm,
Not just saying with a woman,
yeah. Just doing
family
life alone.
isolation of family,
Yeah. Doing life alone.
doing life alone, and
Yeah,
that's a toughie.
absolutely. Now, talk to me about this because when I met you, Dennis, we often talk about how we met, right? We met on a
Hmm.
church bus, going to
Church.
some concert, something like that. And we talked. And when I met you, you were going hard for the ministry. You are hungry for God. You were really wanting to know what your calling was. You wasn't having sex, you wasn't drinking,
Right.
you was living a straight and narrow. So you get from a place like that to where you've been, and correct me if I'm wrong, you've been like there, but then you have mountains and then valleys, right? Valleys to where
Mhm.
you're back to a pint a day, right? What happens to where you get to those places where you're good, right? You're good and you living a good life. You're working. You're healthy, right? But then you get to such a low place.
Yeah.
What causes that?
It's called life.
Okay.
It's called so when I met you, I literally quit drinking, sex,
Hmm.
all in the same moment. After having sex and being drunk, that same night I quit and said, I don't want to do this no more. I have no desire. The desire took I didn't he said the gym can be an addiction too. I didn't have a desire, and then I came to church. And
Mm,
I had always been the church boy, so I'm like, man, Lord, how do I get zeal back? And
mm,
so I come to church and I'm like on fire because I hear now people going don't crucify me unless you put me with Jesus to crucify me. People can make church an addiction.
mm.
You can
Wait. I
try
like
to
what you said. Wait. I like what you said. They don't make Jesus an addiction. They make church. Woo! And that's I wanted them
you
to
know
hear
why?
what you
You
were
know why?
saying.
You
Okay.
know why? Because it occupies your mind.
Mm,
So I'm
mm,
going to church. I want to get a word. You can get a word from God driving to church,
mm-hmm,
but
mm-hmm,
you're going to turn it on as soon as you get there to hear from a certain man or a certain
mm-hmm,
person, right? Which
mm-hmm.
that's what they're there for. It's not the
Yeah.
pastor's fault that he bringing a word.
Mm-hmm.
It's you going in there to occupy your mind as to not sin. So the problem with our people is we try not to sin instead of putting Christ in the place of sin.
Mm,
So here I am putting alcohol in the place of productivity.
mm,
Here I
mm,
am. So then if I go to church, I'm like, oh, I stopped drinking. I'm going to go to church because I don't mind is the devil's playground and I don't want to be sitting there going, you can literally, I could sit still for 20 minutes and want to drink.
mm.
But if I'm on this podcast, I don't want to go get a drink.
Yeah, because you're occupied. You
I'm
occupied.
occupied.
You occupied. Yeah.
It's
But then as soon
numbing
as
my pain now talking about it.
you get a moment of silence, right? You get a moment of silence, and then your thoughts start happening. You
Yeah.
start feeling those thoughts again, right? And they start to come back.
Yeah.
So you have to occupy your mind with something, right? That's because I remember also, I
Something.
do remember you used to saturate yourself in the word. I remember that.
Meditate on him day and night. That's why
Yes,
it's there.
you used to do that. You used to I remember that. You used to
Yes.
but this what you doing? I'm reading my body. I'm studying my Bible. Like
Hmm.
this dude, you don't do nothing else. We
You ever
DJ and
seen?
study the
Hey,
Bible.
hey, have you ever gone to the theme park and got on a roller coaster that just did this?
No, I
No.
ain't
What
gonna
do
get
roller
on that.
coasters do? They go up,
Up,
they go
and they go
down.
down. Yeah.
And I got that. I put that in my book, The Roller Coaster Christian.
Mm,
The three. It's the slow going up,
mm-hmm,
because I got to get out of this thing in the thrill,
mm-hmm,
but the thrill comes down once you're going down that thrill because
mm-hmm,
now I'm going down sinking, so you're on fire and if they call it church calls it the burnout. You're on fire and you're doing this and that and then
mm-hmm,
something in life happens. A
mm,
trauma happens, and then you say, "Oh man, bump that, man! I did all this dedicating to God." Now, I'm not gonna say God's name in vain. I'm not gonna do like Job's wife said to do and curse him. I'm
mm-hmm.
gonna
Right,
say
right,
I believe you, Lord. But
right.
technically, I'm finna pull away a little bit because you know what? I was so heavy into you, and then you let this happen to me. Or
Mm,
you allowed me to do this instead of getting my mind right, and I
mm,
didn't make the mistake, or this didn't happen to me. Some people as though they lose their mama or they lose somebody,
yeah,
or
yeah.
divorce, or
Mm-hmm,
just things happen, and or you lose money or whatever, and now you're going to blame. I'm over here giving all to God, and this happened to me. Man, I
mm-hmm,
might as well go get me a drink, man. Let me numb this.
mm.
Because God didn't numb me from he didn't this is the mental side.
Yeah,
You didn't
this is
protect
real,
me
y'all.
from this.
Mm,
You see what
yeah,
I'm saying? Where
yeah.
you supposed to protect me and I got into some trouble, where you at? Man,
Mm.
let me go get this drink.
So now you feel not only abandoned by mama, daddy, granddaddy,
Now you about to get to it.
now you feel abandoned by the church.
You feel abandoned by God at
You feel
times.
abandoned by God.
Let's just keep it a buck.
You feel abandoned by
Many
God.
people blame God.
Yeah, they do. Oh, absolutely. They blame
You
God.
feel God let you go.
Mm-hmm.
I see one set of footprints, my guy. They're
Mm.
mine, size 10s. I don't see your footprint.
Mm. And so you right back to the only thing that's been the consistent is that alcohol.
Well, the alcohol is right there.
It's right there
Just drive
for
down the
you.
street and see liquor. Cool. I can
Mm-hmm.
always depend on you being right there. I can depend
Mm.
on you, alcohol, because I know
Mm.
what you're gonna do. You're gonna ease my mind and get me chilling, and I
Woo.
might call me a shorty up and get a little trim, and then I
Mm.
really doubled it up and felt good.
Yeah. Woo.
I don't even remember the last time I got a hangover. Maybe 10 years ago. Yeah, I wake up. I don't get. Like I told you, my hangovers are after 6 7 days of drinking is the withdrawal.
Woo.
I'd rather have a hangover every day than to go through a withdrawal for 24 hours.
Oh. All right. So let me. Woo. This is some heavy stuff. All right. So talk to me. How has drinking or your alcoholism in the past affected like your job, your career, money? Talk to me about that. How has it affected? Have you lost jobs? Have you been
Oh
struggled to
yeah,
find jobs? Okay.
I've lost jobs because the depression that sets in. It doesn't mean that you lose a job because you drunk. You know, it means that the after effects of what comes with it
Mm.
can cause you. There are many people and even myself who are saying, I don't want to go in today.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it.
Or you're not giving your best effort. You're
Not
not
giving my
giving your
best
best.
effort.
Yeah.
Or I know a lot of people drinking now that we can sit at home and not be old and not be in the office and you sit there,
Mhm.
oh, you can sip. As long as you can control it, you can
Yeah.
see. You don't get too drunk when you slurring your words to people, but because they record you. But you can be sipping and get your little sip at lunch, and
Yeah.
can't nobody see you. You know what I'm saying? But the after effects of going through the anxiety, depression, then is when you don't want to deal with people.
Mm.
You rather be now you isolate yourself.
Yeah.
You don't feel like talking on the phone. You don't
Hmm.
want to. Here's the worst thing anybody can do. What they call them things, interventions. Don't do that.
Mm.
Don't. I've tried to do it with people. They try to do it with me. What alcoholics do is deny alcoholism.
Mm. Okay.
Alcoholics say, "Man, I'm good. I can handle this. I don't need
Hmm.
y'all help, man. Stop when I want to.
Yeah.
Come on." You know what I'm saying? So you go through all of that. So that's the relationships part. Now people you feel like people are attacking you and
Hmm.
they ain't look at you. You do this, you do that. Why you coming at me like that?
So would you say they have to be ready on their own? You can't be an intervention for them. They have to
You have
make
to
the
make a
decision.
decision,
Uh-huh.
and one of the toughest decisions you can make is enough is enough. I
Mm.
want to change. And now I'm not and what I'm saying is you couple that with prayer, fasting, Bible, getting with God, getting with Christ, believing. But even then, you know what I'm saying, you can pray for 4 days straight and then I've left church with drinking.
Do.
But you have to make a decision that one of these is gonna be my God.
Mm. Which
One
God?
of these is
Which one is going to be my God?
which one will I serve?
Mm.
Now I'm not talking to the people who can have a little sip every
Right.
twice a month. I'm not
Yeah,
saying that.
yeah. You're
I'm
not talking
talking
about
about the people who
recreational
can wake up at 3 in the morning
social
and drink
drinking.
till 12 midnight.
Yeah, yeah, that's what you're
Which
talking
one is
about.
gonna be my God?
Hmm.
Because it would take Jesus himself to tell me he's not real for me to stop believing in him.
Right. Absolutely.
But the alcoholism has just as a strong effect.
Mm. And the cold part is how you said that alcohol is always there. Whatever you worship, whatever your God is, in times of need, you have to return back to that God.
You
So
rely
every
on it.
time there was a struggle, every time there was a heartache, every time there was a letdown, you went back to your God.
He was right there.
That that
He never
that
let me alcohol never let me down. All he did was go up in price. And I gave an offering. Whether it was
you
a
gave
$20
a,
bottle, a
right.
$30 bottle, a $40 bottle, a $62 bottle, I gave that offering.
Yeah.
Now that's how you
Yeah.
deplete your bank account. So if I'm spending
Mm.
$42 and some change plus
A
tax
day.
a day on a half gallon, and I'll let that sink into the next day. Let's just say two a week
Mm-hmm.
at about $100. Let's just say $100. That's $400 in a month.
Mm.
Not to mention when I go out, I'm buying $12, $15 drinks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
At the
so
bar.
let's put it at $500 a month. That's my car note is less than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
My car note and insurance is less than that a
Mm. And
month.
that's just on alcohol. Not including the food that you eat with it, you know what I mean? Because you done drunk and now you need some
Now
food
you
and
hungry. So then
right.
now here's the weight. Here come when you gain the weight. 2 in the morning, you've been at home all day drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, dude, shoot, what's open? Oh yeah, that's open. I'm finna go get me some tacos. I'm finna go, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Jack
going
in
to
the
Jack
Crack
in
or
the
something.
Crack.
Right, right, right. Then you
Now
spending
you
money
at
on
home
that.
looking like a fat bastard, just smashing it. Get in my belly. Get now you done that
Right.
now. Once you start sobering up, you're like, well, shoot, I need some more drink because I need to fall asleep.
Mm.
So now you because you can't sleep for a couple days, now you rely on the drink to put you to sleep,
Yeah.
that deep sleep. You don't even remember falling asleep. This time I fell asleep at 6 o'clock, woke up at 11 p.m. and was wide awake like I don't even remember going to sleep. Now I'm up till 4 in the morning.
Mm.
But what am I doing? Sipping.
Dang.
I'm
Dang.
relying on it.
Yeah. So has it ever affected your driving privileges?
Yeah, I got DUI. I got one. Man, and bump man, Cobb County can kiss it. I've been drinking and driving, and this is not nothing to gloat on. I've been drinking and
Mm.
driving in California for 20 years.
Mm.
And as soon as I get to Cobb County, Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
he wanna pull me over. And I was actually sober. Well,
You wasn't as drunk as you
I had
normally
sobered
are.
down. I had
Yeah, yeah,
sobered down.
sober down.
See, and this is what I didn't realize too. You can drink all day
Hmm.
and then you can get sober and drive. And if that stench is still on you, it's still in your system, that's a DUI.
Still a DUI because
Yeah.
your blood level is
The
still
blood
up.
level goes up. Yeah. So I did time up in the pen. You know what I'm saying? Homeboy. Like I did some hard time. You know what I'm saying? I did 6 hours, cuz. I
Six
did six
hours
hours in the drunk tank.
in the drunk tank. Man,
And I'm
that's
telling you,
crazy.
that's the worst there because if you suffer from depression, anxiety, and you coming off of not drinking in 6 hours starts your withdrawals, and you sitting on a hard bench with the light on, and they over there doodling right there next to you.
Hmm.
That's not fun.
No, no, it's not. No, it's
That's not
not.
fun at all.
I remember. I'm gonna tell you a story. I got a DUI myself. I was in 2009. I'm leaving Arizona, moving back to California. I'm packed up, ready to go. U-Haul, ready to go. My boy, hey, it's a Thursday night. Hey, let's go to Woo Woo Club is in Chandler, Arizona. We go, right? I get drunk. I mean, drunk, right? I'm slurring and stumbling out the club. He's stirring and stumbling out the club. He drive. This is before Uber and all that stuff was real big,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And he like, you good to drive? I'm like, yeah, man, give me the keys. Well, he had this big old Cadillac Escalade, and he's like 6'4". You know, I'm 5'7", 5'8". His chair don't scoot up. It's broke. So
He way on. He in your lap.
yeah, I'm trying to drive. I'm drunk. I'm trying to text this girl, hit up this girl to come to the house. I'm drunk trying to drive this car. It's too much going on. I'm on the freeway. Police pull us over, whatever. Give me all the tests. I failed all of them, right? And
Mm.
when he took me to the holding place, he said, "Man, I was watching you for like a mile. I just, he was like, you was going fast, going slow, going back, going forward. He was like, if you start speeding, I'd have pulled you over sooner, but you was driving slow. So he's like, I left you alone. He was like,
You
and I
did
told
under
him,
the
yeah,
speed limit.
yeah, yeah. But he was like, yeah, man, I had to pull you over. And then, so I learned my lesson, man, drinking and driving. But I just want to throw myself, I never
Yeah,
had to
no, I
struggle with
mean that's real. A
alcoholism,
lot of
but
people have gone through that, and that it's not fun. And but
mm-hmm.
you where I thank God is because there are people who didn't just get the DUI, but they committed a manslaughter,
Yeah,
and they don't
you
know
kill
that
someone.
when you start drinking and you get behind the wheel, Your mind don't say, "Hey, man, wait a minute. You might commit manslaughter.
Right.
You might hit somebody." You don't
Mm.
think that. You thinking, "I need to get home."
I need to get home. That's all you're thinking about. You're not thinking
And I
about the
was thinking
consequence.
at
I'm trying to get
times,
home.
I need to get home so I can drink more to knock my till I go to sleep. So
Wow.
you don't know, and God, to God be the glory that it was just, and oh, mind you, I'm only 4 miles away from the house.
Mm.
To God be the glory. What if he didn't pull me over and I hit a pedestrian?
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? What if God saved me with the DUI
I believe he did.
from spending 10 years in jail?
I believe he did because you in a new city. You had just got there, a new city.
Yeah.
I mean, and I mean, I don't know how the police are out there, but you could have anything could have happened.
Let me
Anything
tell you
could have happened.
how jacked up the mind is. So Shorty had came to visit from LA, and so we decided to go riding.
Mm-hmm.
So she's on the back of the bike, and then we and so I'm kind of watching what I drink because we'd already drank earlier. And I said, "Dang man, I want to drink tonight. I'm like, we at the little spot with the homies, and I got my little shorty." I said,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, let's do this." I said, "Babe, jump on the back. We're gonna take the bike home and get the car. That way I can drink and we can get home."
Mm.
What kind of
Crazy.
jacked up
That's
thinking is
crazy. Let me
I'm gonna go get the car so we can
so
come
I can
back to the
drink.
club and drink?
Drink. Right.
Because I wasn't gonna drink like that on my bike.
Man.
I've been there too. So we ride home. I'm good enough to ride home, get the car
Uh-huh.
instead of staying home. She had a flight to catch that morning, 4 a.m. Instead of staying home,
Mm.
we go back and I'm sipping. And then I get in the car and we going. And I ain't even gotta tell you what was under the. They didn't even check the car, thank God, because what was
Mm.
under the seat, they ain't find that.
Good. Good. Because
That
you'd have
would
did
have been
more
a
than
possession charge.
look, you did more than 6 hours. You did more than 6 hours. Yeah, yeah, they're not playing with that. So
But
let me
mhm.
ask you this because we touched on so many great things that I appreciate you, man, really, because this is not an easy thing to talk about. You're being very open, very
And let
vulnerable.
me say this too, and I want you to go there. Everything I'm talking about is nothing that I'm like, oh God, I got to talk about this. Pastor Stanley J, my pastor, my father in the faith. This is stuff we talk about weekly.
Mm-hmm.
This is stuff I had to. You got to get to a place of vulnerability, men, to get the help you need. You don't have to. If you ain't gonna be vulnerable with your old lady, that's fine. Find someone you trust to be
Mm-hmm.
vulnerable with. That's going to not laugh at you, because we be worried about that, but who's going to embrace you,
Yeah,
love on
absolutely.
you in a manly way, and still help you.
Yeah,
100%.
that's
Okay, go
big.
ahead. Sorry.
No, no, I think that's great. And also, not trying to talk about Pastor Stan's past, but he can relate to you, right? He can understand, the things that you've been through, too. He can give you trust his judgment, right? You trust his wisdom, you trust the
Yeah.
things that he's given you. And I think that's
Yeah.
when you're struggling with something, you want to be able to trust the people who are supporting you
Yeah.
because you may not listen to everybody. You ain't gonna listen to everybody, but you'll listen to
Yeah.
somebody that you trust. So I think that's
Yeah.
very, very important. So we started the show telling people and those who missed it, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks sober right now.
Uh, Technically, because the wine, week and a half.
Week and a half. Okay. Week and a half. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Excellent. I want to
But I'll
say
take
that
it one day at a time. Tonight
one
I
day at a
won't
time.
drink. I can't tell you about tomorrow.
Okay. One day at a time.
Tonight I won't drink.
I saw Pastor Stanley talk about that earlier. He said one day at a time. So I
It's
think
one day
that's
at a time. Yeah.
that's excellent. So I know you're talking to him. What are some other things that you are doing to help yourself stay on this pathway of sobriety?
I'm thinking about my health. I
Hmm.
do take like the blood pressure pills and the anxiety pills, cholesterol pills. So I'm one that's mixed alcohol. I've literally taken medicine with alcohol.
Mm.
Dangerous. So
Mm.
being in a mental state of awareness and clarity says don't drink and take blood pressure medicine,
Right.
dumbass. Excuse my American.
All right.
you
So
know,
so you're aware of your health. You're keeping a good
my
traction on your
weight.
health. Your
I've
weight.
you've
Okay.
seen me. My weight fluctuate like a roller coaster, but I don't want to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And let me tell you something, y'all. When you drinking and you gaining weight and you're not eating good, and you trying to breathe at night, And I've heard my sisters. I'll be sometimes spend the night at my sister's house, and I'll be in the other room, and she'd be like, you snoring or whatever because you bigger and stuff. But then when she say, I thought you stopped breathing. I thought you about to die in your sleep because you stopped
Mm.
breathing. So then you're dealing with that, and then there's times you wake yourself up. You ever did this?
Yeah.
And you wake yourself up and breathe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's nothing like there's nothing in the world like breathing.
That's pretty important.
There's nothing in the world. There's no amount of wealth that can
Yeah.
substitute breathing.
Absolutely. That's the key. That's the key.
And when you want to breathe, and you don't want this stuff on your lungs,
Mm-hmm.
and again, you breathe good when you're sipping though,
Mm.
because I can talk all night drinking. You
Mm.
breathe good when you sipping. That thing say, "Oh no, your lungs is good."
Yeah. I
Let you
like
get
Mimi's
so.
question. She said, "What's the plan when life hits? How do you face that?" So going forward,
How
right?
will you? Okay,
How 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 will you face when life hits? Because you told me before, life hits, boom, and
life
that's
hits.
causes the
Yeah.
roller coaster. So when life
Um,
hits again, because life gonna keep hitting, life gonna keep hitting for
that's
the
a good
rest of
question.
our life.
If you are one of faith, you have to you have to substitute anything that's a temporary fix that you rely on with faith and rely on faith. But
Mm-hmm.
faith has to be, and I'm not saying it in a bad way. Faith has to be your crutch.
Mm-hmm.
It's not making it wrong. I'm not saying it in a way where like everything's great, but you have to rely on faith. You have to lay there at times and say, I remember being here a couple years ago and you brought me through this.
Mm-hmm.
You did not direct my path this way in order to, or as the old saints used to say, you didn't bring me this far to leave me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I have to have faith that you got this, God. You see
Mm-hmm.
the end of this problem, and I don't. So alcohol don't see the end of this problem.
Right.
Drugs don't see the end of this problem. Sex don't see the end of this problem. Chopping it up with my boys don't see the end of this problem. Finesse and the honey don't see the end of it. Only Christ, only God, only my faith sees the end of this problem. So I have to learn to rely on faith that I can get through this problem and not need a temporary fix.
So talk to me about some. I think that's good. Let me start. I think that's great. That's excellent. Talk to me about dealing with the roots of the alcoholism, the rejection, the depression, the stuff from mama
I
and
think
daddy
that's
and
a
granddaddy.
lifelong. I think that's a lifelong journey. I don't think
But I'm
there's
saying,
a. I
no, no,
dealt
I
with.
agree. No, but
Oh,
I'm
okay.
saying, how do you deal with that? How, like, are you going to therapy? Have you gone through therapy? Do you plan to go to therapy?
I've done all
Um,
that. I've done the
okay.
therapy. I've
Uh huh.
done the going to the pastors.
Mm-hmm.
I can call Pastor Stan and we can talk for 2 hours
Mm-hmm.
about it. But I can also at the same time be drinking while I'm talking to him too, which I have. He
Right.
probably knew. He
Right.
didn't condemn
So,
me.
but I think what I'm trying to pull out of you, just so you know, what I'm trying to pull out of you is going forward. How are
Going
you?
forward.
What's
I'm gonna be
yeah.
100% going forward. I have to be the one to take accountability one day at a time. When I'm
Mm-hmm.
sitting there and I'm faced with a decision, do I go and buy me a cheap bottle so that I can just have me a sip, or do I say no? I have to talk to myself.
That's good.
I have to be my therapist. The Bible says that David encouraged himself.
Yeah. You beat your body. Paul said, beat your body into submission.
That's
You
right.
beat your body into submission. Yeah.
So I have to sit here tonight, and, and,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm in the office, and I got
Mm-hmm.
an hour drive home from Westlake Village to pass downtown,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna pass all these liquor stores and all this stuff. I have to make the decision to pass every exit and not get off.
Mm.
I have to make that decision. And if I feel, here's the part I haven't mastered. If I feel the urge and I say, man, bump it, how, and this is what I haven't mastered that I need to help with is how do I turn it off, that urge? Because the urge can come in stronger than your urge to pray. That urge for
Listen.
bad comes in stronger than that
Listen.
urge for good. That
Listen.
urge for this and that comes in stronger than that urge to say, Lord, I trust you. That's
Yeah.
not easy to do.
No. The Bible talks about how there's always a fight, right? There's always a fight between us, right?
Yeah.
Your soul and your
Yeah.
spirit. There's always a fight to to follow Christ, to follow the word, or to follow your flesh, right? Your flesh and your spirit are
Mhm.
at a fight. It go without a
If
plan is just a wish. You gotta have a
even
plan
with BB said, and I agree, the
when you lift
plan.
weights. Uh-huh.
But even with a plan,
You gotta execute.
you can walk off the plan and go
Yeah.
do this and come back and say, okay, here's my plan. But that urge can overdo the plan.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
You see what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? That thing that draws you. What Pookie say? It just be calling me, man. It just be calling me.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
It do call you. Not on the
Mhm.
phone.
Yeah.
At least on the phone, I can hang up on somebody.
Right.
Not when it's in here.
Nah. Now
Not
it's
when it's in
mental.
here. And think about this. I don't even think that people have brought this. Addiction is in here.
Mm.
It's in your heart.
Mm.
People say, God know my heart. He sure do.
He
He know
should. He
exactly what's
sure
in
do
there.
know it's in that
He not
heart.
in there.
Yeah.
He sure ain't in there. He know what's in there.
Yeah. He know what's in there. He
Because
know what's in your heart.
you gonna make it your God.
Mm.
What you believe is what's gonna be in your heart. And if you believe that this thing right here, this addiction piece, is what's gonna save you, then you're going to. This is what you. I can write the plan down, make it plain, so that whatever the scriptures say, and then I can literally put the pen down and go get me a drink and
Mm.
sit. And I can. You know how many times I done ministered to people of the same addiction while I was drunk.
Mm.
I'm on the motorcycle club, bunch of drunks. Bless their
Yeah.
hearts. Some of the nicest guys. I've
Mm-hmm.
had guys give me money because I was like, yo, man, I need money to get here. Gas, da da da. They'll give you a shirt off their back. That's what we learned. I got this shirt on here. Boom, here you go.
Yeah.
Drinking, sipping. Let's drink, let's drink, let's drink. Right? Hey,
Mm.
man, I'm going through this, that. You get to ministering. I'm sipping, ministering, sipping. It don't care that you know your Bible. It don't
Yeah.
care that you pay your tithe. It don't
Right.
care that you go every Sunday and get resaved every Sunday.
Right.
It does not care.
It's not
It's
gonna
when you
care.
leave and you get idle, it says, hey, don't forget about me. We like this. It's me and you till death do us part.
So it sounds like, and just to kind of wrap up here, it sounds like there's a place where you need to get so submerged into the word of God that even when you're sitting idle, your thoughts go there versus to the bottle.
Yeah, it's retrain your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the process I'm in. Right now, I just go to worship songs. I'll
Mm-hmm.
play some worship songs, or I'll go to YouTube and listen to some preaching. Um, there's times I know the people I have to call,
Mm-hmm.
you know, um, but that I know I got to call because of this. But it's really it's one day at a time. I'd say it's 1 minute at a time
Yeah. Yeah.
that you gotta constantly fight that thing out of you.
Mm.
I don't know if I'm gonna drink this weekend.
Mm.
I can't predict that.
Yeah.
I can only pray that the taste is not in my mouth.
Mm. So
But
let
I
me
don't
ask you.
know.
Let me ask you, Dennis, as a friend, and you got some other. I know some of these people that's on the real friends. You got a sister on here. You got some brothers. You got spiritual father on here.
Right, right.
What are some things we can do to support you, if anything? And if it's nothing else other than just praying for you, but I feel in my spirit, I want to support you in this. So what do you think is the best way for us to support you?
I'm gonna be honest. When they came to Jesus said, look, we done lay hands, we done had a seance. Well, they ain't say seance. We done lay hands, we done did this, and this demon won't come out.
Mm-hmm.
He said some things just come by prayer
Praying
and
faster.
fasting. The best thing you can do is keep praying for me.
Yeah.
Pray for those who you know that are going through that because
Mm-hmm.
I have to make the decision. You can text me every day and say, don't drink today. Don't drink
Mm-hmm.
today. If I see the word drink 10 times, guess what I might do?
Drink. Because the subconscious mind don't know
It's
don't
highlighted.
and not. All they know is drink.
Pray.
Pray.
Pray. Pray. And deliverance is an ongoing thing. Just because you throw up don't make you delivered.
No, it doesn't. It's a
It's
process.
ongoing.
Absolutely. It's a continuous deliverance is a
It's a
continuous
continuing thing.
process. So I would say this just for a second time because we got to get out of here, man. Thank y'all so much for sticking in with us, all everybody, man.
Appreciate y'all.
But I would even say this, man. You got brothers here. You got me. You got Ivory. You always got Pastor Stan. You got a sister and Mimi. You got your blood sister. You know what I mean? Um, we here for you, bro. We here for you.
Oh, I believe that.
We love you.
Yeah.
We are. I hate to use the word proud, but I am supportive of your week and a half sobriety right now.
Yeah.
I after this talk, after really hearing your heart on this, I'll never at a gig say, "Hey, let's go to the bar and let's get something." I'm
Let
not.
me tell you about your wife, and
I'm
I
not.
love her for this.
Yeah.
We was on some gigs, and I'm ordering, and I went to Mimi. See, this is how crazy you can be. I go to Mimi and say, "Hey, if I get a drink, take it, snatch it." Now, Mimi, anybody know Mimi? Mimi's no holds barred. She don't give a rat's tail if she ain't gonna let up. So she done snatched some drinks out of my hand, and I get mad. And
Yeah.
this
He
is an
get mad.
alcoholic.
He get mad.
This is you want to know how to know an alcoholic? Snatch a drink out of his hand, say this not good for you, and watch him
Mm,
get mad. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm good. Give me that. And I'm
Right.
sneaking off, getting more drinks, sipping it at the bar. So Mimi don't catch
Mm,
me at a gig.
right. Right. So yeah, man. I I
I want to
appreciate you,
say,
man. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I
I'm gonna let you.
appreciate you.
Mhm.
This was awesome. This was definitely on time for me, even just in the healing process. Because, but I have been praying a lot on God. What's the ministry you want me? What am I here to do to help
Mhm.
people? And one thing that Pastor Stan did tell me, he said, when your toughest ailment, your toughest um hurdle, sometimes is that which He would use you to help deliver others.
Absolutely. I believe that
And
100%.
so one of the things that to answer Mimi's question going forward, my prayer is to not drink means that I will be in the right mind state to help others, not be a hypocrite, but to help others who are suffering from addiction that may lead to a worser life than what I'm in currently. So if that's my ministry, praise God, then I ask Him to put the mantle on me, but also protect me from myself because I don't trust me.
Mm,
I don't.
mm.
I don't trust me tomorrow.
Yeah. Got you.
I
I
trust
got
faith.
you. Yeah. That's good. That's good. That's good. Man, thank you so much. Um,
Straight
thank you
up.
so much. I don't see no more. Did I miss a question? Oh,
No,
oh
I
yeah.
think
She
it's
said,
just
"What can you believe about your alcohol God that will make you walk away from it, like you might walk away from God's plan when He doesn't meet your expectations?" Oh,
you have to. It's the same thing I was saying. I have to say one. That's not my God.
mm,
So it ain't even my alcohol. It's not my God. And I have to think mentally. How does it make me feel? What's the withdrawals going to be like the next time? I don't want to go through 48 hours of wasting 48 hours. And I want my ministry. I want the ministry that God's placed in me to be pure. If I make a mistake in a month or a year, I'm not going to beat myself up.
no, you can't.
I'm not.
You
I'm
can't.
going to say, Lord, my bad. Get me out of this.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But
And you
as
know
for
what?
today, I'm not going to drink.
Use your power. I mean, the Bible always talks about death and life is in the power of the tongue. You speak to that. You said it just now. That is not my you. Alcohol, you are not my God.
Not my God.
Bottle, you are not my God.
Not my friend.
Yep, you are not.
Jack Daniels is not my friend. I've been to the distillery. It'll get you drunk just walking through it.
Just
It's not
smelling
my
on
friend.
it. Yeah.
That's a demon drink anyway. But
Hey y'all, man. Thank you, Denny Mo. Appreciate you so much.
appreciate it.
Love you, man, for being on the show. Y'all who
Absolutely.
chimed in, talk. Thank y'all so much, man. We're gonna have more of these, man. I got some other brothers ready to be open, ready to be
Yeah.
vulnerable, and ready to tell their stories, man, and some of the struggles that they had. And I like this, man. We're gonna do more of this because y'all need to see real brothers that struggle with real things and how they
Amen.
get through them. So hey, it's the It's Mental Podcast. Tell somebody, bring a
Mental.
friend, share, like, tag, whatever, all that. But thank y'all so much. God bless y'all. Have a good night.
Thanks for coming out. God bless and good night.